Excuse me. Frederick, you're first. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Did you do anything last night, or you just kind of hold tight? Eric, Aviad, how you guys doing? Sorry I don't have like an actual dedicated time for this stream. It really just is predicated on around lunchtime and kind of what's happening. So there you go. Bought Payne XMR, nice. How you doing, Sean? Neo's in a nice consolidation. Bought some Litecoin, that's nice. Wow, getting all in here, buddy. Getting all in here. Let's take a look at some of those. I looked at QTum last night. Someone mentioned QTum in the chat yesterday, and I apologize. I just completely ignored you, I think, at that particular moment in time. But looking, but looking at it, QTum actually, look at this QTum chart, guys. Look at this QTum chart. It is at a low, so I'm not liking that, but you know, I can't argue with a pretty nice looking cup. Good low volume down here at the bottom. I wish there was more volume here, but there's a couple of spikes, and then we start popping volume higher, higher, higher. So we're putting in a handle here on this cup with handle. So whenever QTum breaks out, honestly, looking at this QTum chart, it looks like it's in for, well, let's take it from up here. It's like a 30% move up to here, guys, right here in this 35 area from 25. That's a really nice risk reward trade for QTum. I would put your risk maybe down here at this 24 level. So let's say you got in here about 10% for 30%, about a 3-to-1 risk reward. That's pretty healthy. Cancel the ICO ban on October 16th. Talk about manipulating markets. Oh my goodness, talk about manipulating markets. That's crazy. Yeah, Pay's looking excellent. Pay's looking excellent. Was that you, Frederick, that said QTum? QRL. Pay in QTum. Inverse head and shoulders on QTum. Yeah, maybe. You know what? I don't like to. I don't think you can forecast like that though. The only thing you can do is let it break out. So this is what happens. So let's zoom in a little bit here for you guys. So what he's referring to, if you're not familiar, what Aviad there is referring to, is an inverse head and shoulders pattern. I see what he's talking about. You kind of have a shoulder here. You have a head here, and he's saying maybe we get a shoulder over here. Okay, maybe we don't break out, we break down, create a higher low, and then we move up. So that is a possibility. That is a possibility, but I wouldn't put all your cards in something that hasn't happened yet. What we have now is a potential cup with handle, like I said earlier, potential. So what we want to do is wait for it to break out, and if it breaks out, great. If it doesn't, then yeah, I think we can maybe talk about a potential inverse head and shoulders. But you have to trade what's in front of you at this moment. Says my stream is not doing well. Are you guys seeing any choppiness or issues? I'm hardwired again, so. I am still not getting, oh, there we go. Live health stream. There we go. All right, guys. Looks like we may be back at it. Looks like we're back at it. So, that's the wrong thing. Dillman, what's up, buddy? Eric, there's a 10-second delay on the stream. Unfortunately, I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. I went and checked some settings to see if I could eliminate that lag. It doesn't look like I can. I think it's a YouTube thing. Yeah, sorry about that. If you guys, yeah, if something's like, I mean, there's 10 seconds is not too bad, but you know, I'll chat if I feel that my answer isn't going to get to you guys in a reasonable amount of time. So Frederick's saying that Bob, South Korea. How you doing, Bob? Ian, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. It's kind of watching cryptos do what cryptos do, which is make you question what cryptos do. That's not bad. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. So last time we talked yesterday, guys, we were looking at Ethereum. This is kind of an inverse head and shoulders. We were looking at it to break this neckline. And I know a couple of guys asked me, hey, you know, is this a good time to get in? Should I get in? Should I get in? And I know I mentioned, no, you want to wait for it to break out. This is why you want to wait for it to break out, because nothing's guaranteed in life. And you really just want, you really want it to confirm for you before you put your money at risk. Frederick, that's why I would not advocate buying QTum right now. If you want to, I would say take a very small position, maybe 10% of what you're going to invest, not your account, but what you're going to invest, because, you know, Aviad was looking for a inverse head and shoulders, and if that happens, you're going to be underwater for a little bit, which, you know, 7, 8, 10, 15%. As we all know, that doesn't feel very good. So you do want the confirmation of something. You want a confirmation of something. It doesn't necessarily, if you want to be aggressive, you can trade off the minute chart, you can trade off the 15-minute chart. There's different ways to be aggressive on your entries, but you want some kind of an entry. Any thoughts on Walton? I can't pull up charts of Walton, which is fairly confusing. And now my live stream is going to hell again. I don't know what's going on there. If you guys see choppiness, just please call it out in the chat so I know what's going on. Huh? I didn't look at Diamond Coin, but Diamond Coin's making a good move today. There's a few of the smaller coins making good moves today. Let's check that out. Yeah, so any questions on my video last night about NEO possibly leading this move up? Any questions about that? That was kind of a video that I don't think many people expected. I honestly didn't expect to make it, but it just kind of felt appropriate. Oh, Diamond making more moves since I last saw it. Look at that, nice little consolidation with a kind of a handle. You can call it a cup if you want to. Broke out right here, 20% up. Yeah, so if you guys see patterns like this, these can be kind of powerful. Now, Diamond Coin isn't actually known for making runs. If you go back, it's only had a few really good pops, and most of them aren't sustained very long. So I haven't actually done any trades in Diamond. But if you look at it, I mean, look, in the long term, it goes up gangbusters, right? So if you come back here to April, we're up 2,600%. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool coin for kind of a boring trade. If you want a really boring trade, this looks like it could be a coin that just makes you money, but you're bored the entire time. Not to say that's a bad thing. $4 months ago at 143. Why? Just because you know, its use case was interesting. It was supposed to be a store of wealth, so you just kind of hold it, and everyone else holds it, and then it just goes up. Hey, man, things work. Let's see if I can get Walton on Binance. You know, I wonder if it's because I have so many charts open. I wonder if that's why my stream may be laggy. This is probably a lot of information for my computer to be running through. So I'll close out Pay. Look at that chart on Pay, everybody. Look at that chart on Pay. That's just gorgeous. That's just super gorgeous. I pointed out this symmetrical triangle on Twitter if you guys didn't see it. Check me out on Twitter at RealCryptoTrade. Go ahead and follow me and tell all your friends to as well. I don't know why. But yeah, just really healthy overall action. This is just, I think this is just going to work its way higher. If people, you know, Visa's a big name. I mean, Visa getting involved with any crypto is huge, especially with this is their core business, right? So let's try to get to Walton Coin from Coinigy. I know you guys said it was on Binance. Litecoin Metal. I think Metal was doing some good stuff, and I think Litecoin was interesting too. Right now I'm trying to find, we'll look at Metal. I think Metal was looking good as well. Yeah, so like a lot of these coins, I think Komodo had a decent day yesterday, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, it had an interesting day yesterday. Nothing crazy, but it did pop out of these lows here, so that was kind of trending yesterday on my charts here. And then what else do we have? What else do we have? SafeX. Yep, you mentioned SafeX. Nexium, and yesterday someone mentioned quantum resistant ledger. So it looks like there's some little bit of sector movements in here. Who sold up here? So SafeX not looking too bad. Lots of volume. So yeah, this is pretty good entry on SafeX. Even up here doesn't look too bad. Even up here doesn't look too bad. 15% up, maybe 8%, 6% down. You give it to the breakout point. But you can run it up to here to 19%, here to 32%. Let's zoom out. Not too far. Yeah, so it looks like we have a higher low in place. This kind of looks like an inverted head and shoulders to it, everybody, if you look at that. Bit of an inverted head and shoulders here. So this would actually be if this is an inverted head and shoulders, this is a great place to enter. This is a great place to enter because you're gonna be so early on your entry. Look at that. So that's your neckline if this is an inverted head and shoulders. Go away. This is the neckline if this is your inverted head and shoulders, and you've got to run on this game here. So I'm actually not hating this coin right here. This is not looking too bad. Good volume pop on the right side of the inverted head and shoulders. Nice volume pop here. Yeah, I'm not mad at that one bit. Litecoin up 2%. You know, but Bitcoin and Ethereum are flat, so Litecoin up 2%, not too bad. This is off of dollar. This is SafeX dollar. Yeah, it's not that it's slow, but you can see over here, I'm not sure if you can see that right there, SafeX US dollar. Let me see if I can increase the font. Is that a problem a lot of you guys are having? Should I try to increase my font size? It's going to make everything really crowded. So I don't want to do that if if I don't need to. Oh, come on. You know what? Let me close out of my stocks. Maybe this is doing it. If anybody wants to look at a potential really nice breakout, look at Proto Labs in the stock market, but I'm going to close this out just so the stream is a little more healthy. Sratra, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the live stream. Good to have you. Good to have you. All right, just trying to close some things out. We haven't had issues like this the past week or so. Not sure if it's a do I like USD for alts better than Bitcoin? My idea is people trade alts to increase Bitcoin. Yeah, so my view on referencing Bitcoin versus the dollar, if you're trading a coin, you're not really trading it against Bitcoin, okay? Even if your idea in the end is to increase your Bitcoin position, I understand that, that's perfectly fine. But you want a very solid measuring stick to measure a coin's health with, and Bitcoin is not a healthy measuring stick. It's not healthy at all. Let me show you why. Let me find, I do have some pairs with Bitcoin and the US dollar in here. I just need to get to them and I can kind of give you a bit of an example. I think Lisk. Yeah, here we go. Here's Lisk. So Lisk against the US dollar. This is Lisk against the US dollar. So, you know, some up and down movement, nothing too crazy. But you look at Lisk Lisk against Bitcoin, and it's a much different chart. It's a much different chart. So Lisk is behaving better against Bitcoin. Let me rephrase that. Lisk is behaving better than Bitcoin. That's what this chart is telling you. It's better than Bitcoin, but it's not, it's not as healthy as it looks on the dollar chart. Does that make sense? In the Bitcoin chart, all this is up here, and it looks like Bitcoin has rallied more than Lisk has, and so that is apparent in this U.S. dollar chart. That Bitcoin has rallied. So that's the difference here, is that when Bitcoin rallies and Lisk rallies, it looks very flat. If Lisk doesn't rally, then you get a much clearer chart of what's happening, because the US dollar is kind of like the bedrock of everything, right? It's kind of the default currency for the world. So that's why I try to trade off of the US dollar if I can. Kabichi, how you doing, man? Started a little earlier today. We already did all the good chat, so sorry. I'm just kidding. Or am I? So yeah, we did talk about, to give you a little recap, Kabichi, we did talk about QTum having a very nice potential cup with handle here. AV had mentioned an inverted head and shoulders, which is why I have 3 curves here. But like I was telling him, you just trade what's in front of you. You can't trade for a future possibility. You can only trade what's on the right side of the chart. So right now I'm looking for a cup with handle breakout out of this. I don't know if I want to get rid of pay to buy something, though. Pay's just, I don't know. Pay just seems like it's in a very healthy place. It's going up. Now in the end, I think that, where are you? Where's QTum? There it is. In the end, I think that if QTum breaks out of this cup with handle pattern, you have an excellent opportunity to go up 30% to this prior high. It's 30% if you take it from the breakout point. That said 40%. This says 33%. So 33% from this breakout level of this cup with handle to this prior high in QTum. So let's zoom out. Let's get a perspective. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. That didn't help. There we go. So if we finally break this descending trend line in QTum, if we finally curl up and go upwards, who knows if it's going to be straight up. That's a possibility. It's not guaranteed, however. And but yeah, so if this breaks in QTum, we're looking at potentially. Sorry guys, I wish that one bar just was not there. That big opening ICO bar. Okay, so right here we're sitting at these all-time lows in QTum. Tested the all-time lows here. And then if we break out of here, this is pretty good buy and hold territory. I mean, I know I talk a lot of trading, gentlemen and ladies. If I have any ladies here, my analytics say I don't. But if I do, thank you for being here, and don't mean to exclude you. But I know I talk a lot about trading. This is a trading channel generally. However, you know what? Guys, we have an extraordinary opportunity right now. Like in our lifetimes. This is such a crazy opportunity, which is why I'm doing this channel, which is why I'm so into cryptos. I've been trading stocks 15, 20 years, and I still trade those, but you have such an amazing opportunity in the cryptocurrency space. If you educate yourself on everything, on trading, on the technicals, on the coins themselves, the fundamentals, if you educate yourselves on cryptocurrencies, you will be able to pick coins, and you will be able to hold these coins. Now, I do believe you should have a trading account, because if you're here, you're like me and you're just kind of a trader at heart. But at the same time, you guys have to be really smart about this. This is a very unique opportunity in history to pick something up at like just so early prices, and it feels really risky right now in the crypto space. And there's a lot of hodlers out there, which is fine. I'm kind of talking about hodling. But a lot of us here are traders, but you should have, I think you should have like a hodling position, especially when we come to market lows like this. So, Abe Element, hello, welcome. You're my 3% of female viewers. So, welcome. Thank you very much. Yeah, get the rest of your Get the rest of your friends in here. We need more ladies in the crypto space. You guys got to be part of this. There's no reason not to be, you know? No reason not to be. Get everyone doing some holding for some of these smaller coins, like, you know, QTum. You're looking at all-time lows in QTum. If this, you know, it has a pretty good community behind it, pretty good development team behind it, good support, so pretty good. All right, Randy, can you explain the volume bars work? I mean, if it's green, it means buy. If it's red, it means sell, I guess. But what if a coin is both sold and bought? Does the bar get smaller? How does that go? Sure. Okay, so this is based. I'm going to give you a bit of, just a little bit, fairly quickly. I think most people know how this works. For the volume bars and for the price bars. So let me zoom in, get really granular here. Can you guys see that? We don't need a lot of bars to really do this, so I'll see if I can zoom in a lot. Okay. So a red bar, if you have a red bar here, the red bar means that it closed lower than the prior bar's close. This goes for any time frame, 4-hour, 2-hour, daily, minute chart. If you have green, it means it's closed higher than the previous bar's closed. So you see here the red bars are down, the green bars are up, 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 up. The volume pretty much follows this sentiment. So if the bar closes lower than the previous day, the bar is going to be red. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a selling bar. Now this bar means it's a selling bar because it closed all the way down here. So it opened here, went all the way up here, came all the way back down and closed towards the bottom with high volume here, right here, with high volume. So that means this is a selling bar. And this volume tells you, yeah, there's a ton of selling right there. Okay. At the same time, let's look at this red bar. This red bar tells you the opposite story, okay? So this is a red bar, and with red volume because the bar is red, so the volume is going to be red. This is a red bar that, oh, see, this is a chart setting. I didn't think they had this setting in here. This is usually only for candlesticks. So usually only for candlesticks, guys, and that candle. Okay, so color bars on previous close. That's how that's meant to work. Now what's up with my volume bars? Okay, so apparently TradingView does weird things with bars. There we go. Okay, so that's normal. Sorry guys, I actually was unaware of that. So yeah, so there's a setting which you just saw here in TradingView that says, do you want to make the colors based on previous day's close? And I did. That's typically how I trade. But what this setting means is that, let me show you this setting again if you didn't see it. Color bars based on previous close. If you have that checked, what that means is that if the bar closes higher than the previous close, it's going to be green. If it closes lower than the previous close, it's going to be red. If you uncheck this box, which it looks like it's unchecked by default, and I apologize, I never noticed that. If you uncheck that box, what it means is that compared to the open of the bar, if the close is lower than the open, this bar is going to be red. Does that make sense? So that checkbox tells the program, okay, color this bar based off this price or this price. That's pretty much all it says. And that's how I like to have it. So it looks like you taught me something today. Answer your question there, or did I confuse you, Canis? What do you think of setting a buy order for Ethereum at 301? I don't think that's a bad idea. I haven't done it myself. I really like volume confirmation. I'm addicted to volume. I'm just put it out there. But I don't need a recovery program. Volume is pretty much the end all of moves. But you can do that. You can go ahead. If you want to put a stop in or a buy stop in at 301, that's perfectly acceptable. Yeah, fetch your girlfriend, Miguel. Everybody needs to know about this stuff. Take a look at these similar altcoins versus Bitcoins. I really like the patterns RDD and LMC. Yeah, so, and it's not to say that you can't put your altcoins against Bitcoin. In fact, you have to in some cases actually pay. I have pay against Bitcoin because I can't get it against anything else. So I have it against Bitcoin, which is fine. I'll take what I can get. But the ones where you have the choice, you actually should look at both of them. You should look at Bitcoin and you should look at US dollar. You should keep informed of all possible scenarios. And I think that is a situation where you look at both of them. Short Bitcoin at 38.65. Was wondering if I should cut my losses and walk away. I've had some profits and sold at 46 to 3K and bought 41. 38.65. Let's take a look. 38.65. Oh yeah, dude, you're like down nothing. you're yeah, you're literally basically down nothing at this point. 38.65. So yeah, 1%. So like I said, I've kind of changed from bearish to bullish for the most part. Now that being said, I put a tweet out. Let me go to my Twitter. Not to pump it because I just don't remember what I said. But I think it was fairly poignant. If you guys haven't seen this, Life Really Is Getting Better by Bill Gates, go to his Twitter and check it out. It's pretty cool. It's in 3D too. You can like, it's one of those 3D ones. It's pretty neat. Tweets. Yeah, 93 followers. That's pathetic. Why do I want to look at that? Okay. All right, here you go. No, that's the other one. That's the other one. All right, here you go, right here. So, oh, come on. It's my computer doing weird stuff. I don't know if what's happening here, but my computer just has a mind of its own. Seriously, stop it. Seriously, just stop. Anyway, never stay married to a viewpoint or position. Okay? That's like the mantra of trading right there. So you can never be married to a viewpoint or position. That's just life as a trader. So we have a head and shoulders here on Bitcoin. Looks like it was invalidated here. There is a possibility this is our shoulder. Okay? There's a possibility of that. All right? Which would put our whole overall bearish scenario, which we've pretty much been talking about since my channel started, it feels like at least, kind of back into play again. You got a trend line here that needs to be supported, and eventually these need to be broken out of. But this is why you don't buy within a base. This is why you buy out, coming out of a base, like you would want to buy here. You would want to buy over here, okay? Because you never want to guess. You never want to force your opinion upon the market. If you do that, please send me the money that you're going to trade with, and I'll send you back some of it, and you'll probably still have more money. Yeah, so your opinion of the market has to consistently change, especially when the market's at flux like this. Like Bitcoin 5,000 is still above us. I mean, so is 4,600, so is 4,000 at this point, for crying out loud. I mean, 4,000 is still yet to hold. We did pop above it, but we came back. We came back. So, this could be the right shoulder right now, and we just kind of have to wait and see what's going to happen. So should you cover your short? If you're only down 1%, I don't know. I don't know what your risk tolerance is, but I say you cover if it goes up, if it pops over here, if it pops over 39.70-ish, something like that. I say you can cover your short there if you want to take a 2% risk, because that's not bad. Think about it. So you're here at, you said 38.50, I think, right? So you have a risk here of 3% for a potential gain all the way back down to here of 8%. And then if we actually get the retest of 3,000, 22%, so that's a 7-to-1 risk-reward ratio. That's a really good ratio. So you don't see what I see in the market from switching bearish to bullish. So first of all, like I said, I'm leaning more bullish. I am not overall bullish. I'm still cash in my core position. I try to choose my words carefully. You guys should really listen to some of the nuances in what I say. Just because I say I didn't say I'm bullish guy, buy, buy, buy. I probably will say that at some point, but I'm not seeing that at this moment in time. Yeah, head and shoulders is a bearish sign. That is completely a bearish sign. Bitcoin Cash wedging into a inflection point. It's kind of what I call it. I don't think anyone else calls it that. Coming to an inflection point right there. Yeah, I wouldn't put too much pressure on it, to be honest with you. I wouldn't put too much pressure on it. Number one, because you can't force anything on the markets. They're going to do what they're going to do. There we go. Yeah, it's already had this topping trend line drawn. Yeah, so just because it comes to this point doesn't mean it's going to break in a big way. I used to think that, and I've just been bored to death with some of those trades and just had to take small losses. So what do I see that turns me more bullish from bearish? So the first thing that I see is, although we do have a head and shoulders here in Bitcoin, and that is a bearish pattern. You are 100% correct on that. It is a bearish pattern. And like I said, we can make this the shoulder. It doesn't have to be here, okay? This can be the shoulder. We have broken this overall declining trend line, okay? So that's one point to bullish. We do have a nice break of that trend line on some really good volume. This is good volume. You can't argue that that is bad volume right there. That's good volume. So that's 2 points. That's all it has right now in my mind is 2 points. Probably 2 points good. You know, I haven't actually laid out this in a scorecard or anything, but you know, 2 points good. And look, we've missed some decent moves here in trading. You know, I know I've missed them. I'm okay with missing them. No problem missing them. Another reason is Ethereum actually has an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Inverse head and shoulders is a bullish pattern. So we actually have a divergence between Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is news since this downtrend. Since we had this topping of the markets, Bitcoin and Ethereum have traded pretty much in lockstep for the most part in terms of move direction. But here we have a divergence between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's like a half point. Okay, so it's like 2.5 points for bullishness. Now that said, if you guys were on the live stream yesterday, we were looking at this. We were actually looking at this, and I'm like, maybe I'm going to put a trade on. I think we were looking at it like right here, weren't we, guys? We were looking at it right here. And we never put the trade on. I never put a trade on because it never broke. It never broke. It never broke. And now we just kind of drifted lower. So actually, if you look at Ethereum, I think I was looking, was it Ethereum or Bitcoin? It has kind of a rounding pattern now. We've talked about rounding patterns in some videos and live streams, and rounding patterns are not very good. A Verge is popping. Popping is good. Hey, popping. Yeah, so this is another reason to get bullish. When you see some moves, then you start to understand money's going back to work. So like I said, leaning more bullish. You're okay to put risk on. I feel that there's a higher probability we don't just tank overnight for no apparent reason. That's kind of what I mean by it's okay to put money at work here. Someone asked me that question. So yeah, this isn't too bad here. Not too bad here. We do have some volume. Last time we had volume over here, it kind of sold into it, so we'll just kind of see what happens. But yeah, it looks like this this trend line here kind of broke a little bit. There's better patterns out there. Looks like Pay's moving up 13%. It was just up 12%. So, man, looking at Pay. Who's in on Pay? Raise your hand if you got in on Pay. We've been talking about it. Especially on the Twitter bot. On the Twitter something. It's just that those points had already happened yesterday, but okay for confirmation. What are you referring to? Miguel, what are you referring to exactly? I'm sorry, I don't remember the context of what you're saying. What do I think of gas? You know, I think I've looked at gas once, and I still don't think I know what it is. Not ass, gas. See, this is one you have to get under Bitcoin. You can't get it under dollar, so, you know, I'm not going to complain. What do I think of gas? Well, actually, I can tell from this flat chart it looks halfway decent, actually. Boom! Look at that. Why didn't y'all point this out over here? Huh? Who was missing this one? Someone's fired. Someone's fired. Someone's fired. Holy bejesus. This moved yesterday? Why wasn't this on anybody? Oh, probably because it's on Poloniex only. That's why. This is on Poloniex only, isn't it? I actually don't even have a Poloniex account. If you want to reprimand me for that, you can. But, yeah, I wouldn't buy it up here right now. Looks like it's consolidating. We have a double top in place. I wouldn't buy it here, but I would sell my house and buy it here. Look at this great pop. Some nice solid sideways action. We see this a lot in the coins. They tend to go sideways. They tend to symmetrical triangle, then go down. I've seen that time and time again. Time and time again. I've seen that a lot. OK Cash did that to us before it proceeded with a massive run as well. OK Cash did that exact same formation. Let's go look at that. So any well-behaved coin seems to kind of have, here we go. So right here. So OK Cash, I'm looking on the 4 hour. If you go like on the 2 hour, 15 minutes, a little more apparent. So it kind of had this, it was forming a symmetrical triangle, then it broke down, went down, then just boom, exploded up. So I've seen this time and time again when you see these symmetrical triangles. I've tried to buy into these a few times. And it's bit me every single time, just because they have this washout and then they curl back up. RDD. Ooh, red coin. Someone mentioned them the other day. Why is it down 5%? Okay, kind of see what's going on here. Okay, big run up, big consolidation. Hey, it could fit the whole history in a 4 hour chart. Big pop here, big volume. Okay, I'm not hating it anymore. Not hating it anymore. Looks like a bottom has been in place. And yeah, going to be a little interesting to trade this one because you're right here in the middle of this range. You're right here in the middle of this range, so that's going to be a little bit tough to trade. You're going to have to find a stop loss maybe over here at this prior high in this little consolidation. Maybe just under this bar here at the 12 level if you wanted to trade this. So 9% is a little risky, but you know, 31%. Plus, like if this thing breaks out. So it has had a history of testing these highs, but the volume is really good here, so that is a bonus. What was the other one that you mentioned? LMC. Lomo coin. Sounds like a winner. Ooh. Wow. That's quite a little story it's telling there. So what story is this chart telling us here? What story? Number one, it tells me it's a very low float coin that either issued a bunch of new coins or just for some reason, you know, blew up on Reddit or something. Now let's go up here. Starting to act nice. This is not bad. This is not bad. So we're talking potential multi-moves. Still kind of risky to the downside. Maybe give it 5 to 7%. Maybe down to here. So yeah, wait for the breakout. I would definitely wait for the breakout. I know a lot of you guys, you know, I know it's hard to catch these coins in real time. Trust me, I get that. I've lost a lot of moves because of that. But you know, it's really, you don't want to get in early. It's really difficult. If you do, you need to have a hard stop at some resistance level. You know, like this 56 here is maybe a really good, just at the bottom of this range. Give it a little bit. Give it a little bit. Maybe here, 56, and then make that a hard stop. I would just make that a hard stop. Because, I mean, you see it can do choppy action, but it is tightening up. The action's tightening up. That's what I like here. And we do have nice volume pops to the right. No real big selling. Looking really good, Frederick. I'm going to give you some money to trade with. Yeah, I do that, Tadej. I do that. I do it on the fly, though. Okay. What's going on here? Ethereum 289, man, this thing has been pegged at this 289, 290 level all day today. You know, I actually almost traded earlier today. No one get too mad at me. No one get too mad at me. I didn't though. I almost traded. Where was it? This one? I think it was this one. I almost bought that one. Maybe I almost bought that one, but yeah, that would have been a horrible decision. That'd have been a horrible decision, but you know what, guys? You're gonna start hearing me talk a lot about patience, especially in markets like this, and it's hard being patient. It's extremely hard being patient. Sitting hard, you know, sitting here waiting, not doing anything. It's gonna be very difficult, very boring. So you just kind of maybe find something to do just to kind of take the boredom away. But you know what? This is your job. If all you do all day long is take orders somewhere. Okay, Walton Coin. Let's take a look at Walton Coin from Binance. I don't know if I was able to find Binance. Bitfinex, Bitstamp, Bloom Trade, BitMEX, Bitcoin China, Bitcoin Markets, BTR, Bittrex. Looks like I don't have Binance on here. I guess I can go to CoinMarketCap and check it out for you, but I'm not going to get really good. They only have line charts, which don't. Who trades with line charts? Come on. Go. Oh, I'm going to throw my computer out of the window. So it does have some rounding action right there. I can tell you that. You can see it right here. There's some definite rounding action. Rounding is not good. You want to see, actually this kind of action is more constructive. That's much more constructive. Check out 7 days. Although, yeah, it's up pretty good here. Yeah, it's had a nice run. I think wow, it's like a double since the 22nd here. It's just marching up. This isn't bad. It's just marching up if you're really interested in that. Binance, Ether Delta, altcoin. Yeah, pretty much Binance. Yeah, so it's kind of a little long in the tooth. Yeah, it's kind of sitting up, just marching up. I can't complain too much about that. I think you're almost to the point where you're really close to all-time highs. So whatever chart you're looking at, I would probably just let it break into all-time highs. You're going to pay up for it a little bit, but you're basically buying insurance at that point. You're buying insurance that it's not going to reverse on you instantly, because if you buy it anytime before it breaks out, anything can happen. If you buy something on an actual good breakout with volume, the odds of it reversing are lower, or I should say the odds of you losing money are lower. MCO. We'll look at MCO. NXC MCO. NXC MCO. I do have MCO on my list up here. Oh, 2-hour chart. Monaco. Not bad, not great. Higher lows in place. Kind of cupping out with a handle here a little bit. Nothing crazy. Probably just it's people tend to buy sectors in the stock market, and I think it's the same in here. I've seen a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Like sympathetic movements, if you will. I've seen a little bit of sympathetic movements. So this could be a small one in Monaco, with Pay having the really good news about Visa. Because if they're going to give Pay Visa, why wouldn't they give Monaco? Why wouldn't Visa do Monaco? So yeah, not too bad here, not too bad here. You see a very range-bound chart like this. This is extremely range-bound. I mean, you could almost just trade these. You could almost just trade this range. I mean, it's risky because if you've, well, we are in an upward trend, so you buy at the bottom, you sell at the top. You don't sell at the top and buy at the bottom. You always trade it long because it has an upward momentum. Then you could catch a little pop like this, and then you could, do it again. Anyway, that's a trading strategy, but I think over this 950 level on the dollar chart is actually looking pretty good. But overall, pretty good. Check the waves. Is it moving out? Oh, is waves moving out? Are we looking at waves? Is that our cup with handle? Is this our cup with handle? Was I looking at the 4-hour chart? No, what were we looking at? I'm very confused. Oh, we were looking at QTum. QTum, but I like waves here. This is nice. Nice break out of this base here. You're still 2% out. You're not too late to get in. A little inverted kind of head and shoulders pattern there. Sorry, I thought this was QTum making a move. I get QTum and waves confused because I don't know anything about them. Yeah, this is really nice. Really, volume really just dried up right here, and then we saw big explosion here. So yeah, this is pretty good. This is pretty good right here. This volume really needs to continue. It needs to have some nice tight action. The second this thing, you got 10% upside. So keep your stop down here at about this 1138 level. At this prior high right here. You want to keep your stop right about there. So up here, the risk reward isn't great, but the chart looks pretty promising. Looks promising. We're breaking out of this. Although actually, now that I'm seeing this again, we do kind of have a bit of a box. There's a bit of a box right here. So there's a bit of a box right here that it's trading in a channel, if you will. Yes, it popped out, but then it returned to the channel, and it's been basically trading with these lines. So you're a little risky up here because when it gets to the top of this channel, even if it pierces it, it may pull back. It may pull back. So Yeah, it's doing okay. When you get a really defined, like if this comes up here and bases and does something like this and actually breaks out, I think that would be a place where you get really long this coin. Frederick, what alert didn't go off? Derek got into ETH a little early. This is why you don't buy before the breakout. Whenever you buy before the breakout, you're going to pay some tuition. That's just kind of generally how it goes. You have to wait for the breakout, even though it looks good. Because think about it, right? If you have a bunch of coins to sell, wouldn't you like to wait for it to get higher before you sell it? So they'll actually sell it right at the breakout, sometimes slightly above the breakout level, which is why you don't ever buy early. I'll be honest with you, I even do that occasionally, usually always with disastrous results. My best trades actually come when I buy up a little bit. Like if it were to break out and I buy up here, I buy up a little bit, then I tend to do better. And then I tend to do better because I'm trading with the market. Right? I'm trading with the market. Here you're just putting money in right here for not a lot of reason. Do you get out or do you stay in the trade? Well, let's go down a little bit deeper. You didn't buy that long ago. We can do a 15-minute. So you need to give yourself a definite place where you're going to get out. If you actually want to give this room to run, I've got no issue with that. Just be prepared to take a loss if it does fail. Yeah, this is a 5% loss if you want to take it here at 275. If you have a large percentage of your account in this, I would just get out of it. I would just get out of it because you don't want to take a 5% loss in a large percentage of your account. That's very painful. So that would be my advice. I am not long Bitcoin nor Ethereum. I am long Pay and Omisego. Pay's going. Let's watch Pay go. Let's watch me make some money. Yeah, man. If you guys weren't following me on Twitter at RealCryptoTrade, when I see a really nice setup, I will call it out for folks. I don't catch every one of them. I'm just one person, but I mean, Pay, I won't say it's a no-brainer, but it's pretty close to a no-brainer. Excellent news, excellent volume, sideways consolidation. Waited for the pop out over here. Went ahead and bought, and then I've just been holding it. Held through this little shakeout here. And yeah, it's starting to pay off. Get it? Pay off. Yeah, so you can just watch Pay all day long. This just feels good, doesn't it? Even if you're not in a coin and it's making a run, it just feels good. Like when I was watching IOP run, I was just like excited, like, man, this is fantastic. How do you know if something is about to break out in reference to trading a big green bar, uptrend line in volume? So yeah, let's go over a little bit of breakouts here. Why am I long Omisego, Pay, not Bitcoin and Ether? What makes them better? So number one, we just went over Pay, right? Pay had the big fundamental news about Visa. That's big news. It had big volume. It had big volume, and I didn't buy on this pop. I bought right here. I waited for the pop and the consolidation, and then I waited for it to break out of that consolidation and show strength, and then I bought Pay. So that's why I bought Pay. The reason about Omisego, if you go back 2, maybe 3 videos at this point in time, you know, just doing my videos as I usually do, and sometimes I form my opinions ahead of time, and sometimes I form them within the video. But one thing I did mention is that, you know what, looking at this chart, let's go back out to the 4-hour. So first things first. Pay's had a Omisego's had a 2,500% run. Just a massive run up here, and I think I need to. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you for holding. Yeah, so Omisego had a 2,500% run up here. It hasn't consolidated that run. Things don't just go up forever, okay? They just don't. So Omisego needed to consolidate. But that being said, looking at this, I'm like, there's kind of a natural floor here at $8 in Omisego, and we were at $9, and that's a pretty good risk reward. So I'm going to risk $1 here for the potential to make $1, $2, $3, maybe $4. It could chop up, and it could have a nice, nice wide consolidation up here. That's why I bought Omisego. The reason I didn't buy Bitcoin or Ethereum is because Bitcoin not really doing much. It's really just been floating. It's had really two big pops, and I think it had this pop and this pop. I'm not buying this one. It had this pop and this pop, and those were almost instantaneous. I completely missed those. So I'm not going to buy into a choppy market. That's suicide. And then Ethereum, kind of the same thing. It was forming this pattern. I just didn't feel comfortable putting money into it. It hadn't broken this inverted head and shoulders pattern, and so I'm not putting money to work. It's all charts, Eric. If you notice, I pretty much just talk charts. Pay did have a fundamental point to it, but it was based on the charting action. I actually don't have a selling target on Pay. You know what? I'm a very happy-go-feely trader, to be honest with you, and it's bit me in the butt at times. But if I see some topping action in Pay, then I will sell. Until then, I'm just going to hold on to this thing, because if you think about it, look at this. Pay is all the way down here. Pay had a huge run-up. Look at this run-up in Pay. So let's get this ICO out of the way. So Pay had some nice low. It had a nice curl, run, parabolic run in Pay. If you guys are not familiar with parabolic runs, you're really going to like my video on parabolic movements. So this is a parabolic movement in Pay. Think about this as the 1999 stock market, okay? Think of this as the 1999 stock market. Big parabolic run, and then it just crashed, right? Came right back down. It's been slowly consolidating ever since. Now, this news on Visa, combined with the fact that we had this low over here, combined with the fact that we touched the high over here, which doesn't mean a whole lot. It's just kind of nice. The news with Visa, the volume, this indicates a big change in behavior at a very low level in a pretty quality coin. So stars start to line up, right? This thing is capable of parabolic movements. This thing is at a low. This thing has fundamental news that can carry it higher without just willy-nilly trading, right? So you need to know when to trade. You need to know when to trade, okay? Like, we look at a lot of coins and we look at a lot of things, but we're really looking at chart and price and volume and fear and greed and human emotion and psychology is what you're looking at. But when you have charting, which is all of those things married to a fundamental action, this thing could just go up gangbusters. So I don't have a sell point. Yeah, so Stefan makes the point, Text doesn't have a Visa agreement. Their payment provider has. 10x, although is working on their own banking license. As soon as they have it, they'll be able to supply Visa cards. So yeah, I heard that as well. I actually didn't know the whole story behind it. I had heard that it wasn't Visa themselves, it wasn't intermediary. But you know what? They have a working product on the Visa network. That's the important part. So what that means is that they're paying a little more fees. Maybe if they go directly with Visa, they'll pay less fees. But still, the point remains that, it's still a very good fundamental news story. I haven't talked about NEO too much at all. That's a very good point. Why haven't I talked about NEO? Diamond at 12? Is it at 12 now? Is this thing just... You never know when a coin's going to make a run, guys. You never know when a coin's going to make a run. Oh, it's jumping. Is that you guys pumping it? That is awesome. All these guys that have had Diamond for years. What is that? Who said you had Diamond at 145? So let's look at last time it kind of went crazy on us over here. I don't know why, but boom, this thing had a huge run. Looks like it doubled in a matter of a very short period of time. And now this is very constructive in diamond. That's very constructive. You know, I actually saw this pattern, didn't call it out to you guys, but I noticed it within just poking around because I go through all these coins. Didn't feel like, you know, I'm like this thing has never really had like a move, and then it makes a move. I guess that's kind of my bias. I mean, that's a little bit of bias there. But hey, look at this nice volume right here. Goes sideways, consolidates, you know, more tight action right here. Volume dries up, a pop, and then a consolidation, then it just runs. So that's really good. That's congratulations. First coin, sure. Actually, I think they're all the way down at the bottom. No, I took it off. I'm gonna go to the dollar because that's how I roll. And it's still going. 12.50. My goodness. Can I just watch this? Can we just watch this go? I wouldn't buy it up here, FYI. This would not be. Now, it doesn't look bad. Don't get me wrong. It may continue upward. There's like no selling in sight necessarily here. Let's look at first coin, though. Sorry about that. I just like looking at bullish patterns. So this is pretty bullish right here. Kind of the same pattern, actually. Very similar to the same pattern that Diamond just had in terms of this action. The only thing that's missing is the prior volume on the uptrend, which I guess you could consider it here, but it did come all the way back down here. So if this gets a move, it could be actually, anyone else notice the inverted head and shoulders here? So let's see if we can ascertain some kind of a target. Man, I've never seen so many inverted head and shoulders in my lifetime. Seriously. Seriously. It's just all over the place. Yeah, so there you go. Where's our target for first blood? Let's do this. You guys want to trade? This may be a trade. So there's your potential target. Looks like it's really good trade. 60% which would actually coincide right here with these prior lows almost. So hey, if you guys want to take this, I'm not going to get mad at you one bit. I don't know if I want to sell pay to do it, but maybe I'll figure something else out. But this is pretty interesting here. So thank you for the mention of this. So yeah, let's look at this. So inverse head and shoulders is a reversing pattern, just like a head and shoulders is, right? They're all reversing patterns. Hold on, I'm going to get a drink. This is an inverse head and shoulders. It is a reversing pattern. It takes a downtrend and basically does whatever it does and makes it into an uptrend. Just as a regular head and shoulders turns an uptrend into a downtrend, we saw it with Bitcoin and Ethereum at the tops, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Very flat volume here is very constructive. Volume increasing with upward price movement, and then this is this is looking very good here. This is fairly textbook. I really like this. This is a good looking chart. If this thing pops over this on volume, but you gotta wait for it to pop up. It may pay up a little bit for it. If you want to have a limit order in, I would do a limit with a wider price range. So let's zoom in here. Let's go to the 15-minute. Let's go into the 15-minute. That's a very angled trend line I just drew. Okay, so we're in the 15-minute here. Let's get these charts so I can manipulate them. Okay. Yeah, so if we're breaking out of here, we've already tried a couple of times. We've sold into it on some okay volume, but the green volume's still hanging in there. This is actually looks like it could be a bottoming accumulation bar, which actually made us go upward, so it is a bottoming bar. This looks like it's a topping bar. Yeah, so we get over this line, we get over here with some volume coming in here at a 36, at this 36 level. This could be good for a nice little trade, but you want to wait for it to go. You want to wait for some volume to come in. If you want to be early in this, I know a lot of people have the tendency to do that. It is risky. This does look pretty good though. This does look pretty good though. Avia, there you go, buddy. You want to get your 20% back? There's There's quite a bit. What's going on here? Okay. Well, oh, come on. Come on, computer. Sorry, guys. This computer likes to do strange things sometimes. Bitcoin Jedi's in the house. XPM, Terry. Yes, Ian, we can look at XPM. Do 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 do. Yeah. Not really interested in XPM. There's not much. Big red. Oh, this is 15 minute. Let me go to the 4 hour. Sorry, I'm on the 15 minute. That looks more like some action. So this thing, it could be at lows. It could be at lows. It can also stay at lows for quite some time. It can also go sideways for quite some time. So the action isn't good, but it's not bad. For some reason you were very inclined to take a trade on this. You want to give it a stop of, I would probably say this 115 level here. That would probably be my my thing. So Bitcoin going up from 7 days ago. Yeah, a lot can happen in 7 days. Yes, I know, Jedi, you predicted it 7 years ago. Thank you, sir. Well, positive thinking does not make the charts move. Any thoughts on ETC? Litecoin is looking lovely. Let's look at Litecoin. Let's look at Litecoin. Yep, Litecoin not looking too shabby. What's going on here? Ooh, I got a Coinigy price alert on Neo. And it just did a little pop there. Let's go to the 15 minute. Ooh, so Neo starting to, yeah, so we haven't talked at all about Neo. So Neo had this, I drew this trend line here, just popped above this trend line. I just got the Coinigy alert on my phone. So nice volume pop on Neo here. We could be in for another little bit of a run. We'll just kind of have to wait and see here. I do have some money to put to work actually in my other account. I've been debating whether I do or not want to jump in here though. A little bit of volume pop. I want to see some actual upward movement. Some charts predicting Neo could go to 1 cent. Oh, 0.01 Bitcoin, you're saying? What do you think? Quite varying predictions on TradingView. Yeah, so, I mean, do they have a time frame for that? So I have this against the US dollar. I'm assuming, there you go, there's your pop. Neo's getting some action here, guys. If you want to take a position in Neo, we're just crossing this trend line, getting a little bit of volume here. So this could be the start of something. This could be the start of something. Neo Bitcoin 2.01. Yeah, anything can happen. Anything can happen. All I'm really interested in is how the chart's behaving right now and recent history. So as far as this getting to 0.1, man, that's so far in the future. Could it happen? Of course it could. Of course it could. But so can anything. Litecoin goes up when Bitcoin goes up. So let's see if I want to take my Neo trade. Actually, I don't think I can trade on. Oh, here's Neo. Let's see if I can trade. Every time I've tried, I haven't. Somehow my API keys are fandangled. It keeps saying that I'm missing permissions. So let's say I want to trade it. But with what account? My Must have trade permission. I have trade permission. Anyway, guess I can't trade it on Coinigy. Guess I can't trade it on Coinigy. Oh, I'll still gotta learn it. Alright guys, I actually have to call it a day here. It's been about an hour or so. So I'm going to call it a day here. I'm probably going to go buy me some Neo right now. Not a large position, probably about, what do I have left in that account? Probably 30% of my account I may put into Neo right here off of this particular buy. So I think I'm going to go do that after I get off here. If you want to trade in tandem, fine. But it's your choice, your decision. Don't trade off of what I do. Everybody's different. Everybody trades different. Everybody reacts different to different situations. So you need to figure out if this comes back in, what are you going to do? If this